One, two, three in a place to be. It's your player partner Israel from the bottom of the map, checking in on a solo dolo. You know, everybody's chiming in on the Cam Ward thing. Um, Big win for the university. Um, but before we get into it, please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, comment. I say appreciate everybody that's been rocking with us. Um, that's been seeing us from our day ones, seeing us grow, and we building this channel to continue to give you some real spill. Um, and, shout out to everybody who keep checking in, who keep tapping in. You know, each video. So shout out to y'all. Let's help push this thing forward. Keep growing, getting better, giving you better content. and, keep giving you this real from the bottom of the map. But without further ado, Cam Ward. I guess he got that NFL evaluation. That draft round number didn't look too high. I said, might need to take one more look. And Miami said, let's bring out the big dogs. They said Ross wasn't enough. Let's go get Trick, Pitbull, Gloria Stefan. Um, they brought, my Jamaican, my Jamaicans, they brought the Aki and Sawfish. My Trini brought some roti. Um, my Ricans, they might probably brought some sweet plantain. Um, my Haitians, all the Zoes probably brought some zone rice. You know what I'm saying? We went down south to Goose and got this man some conch fritters and conch salad, some real mangoes off the trees, some sauce. Um, he said, you know what? This is it right here. Took that man to Tootsie's and said, this should all be yours. All the way down to exit one. All of this. You know what I'm saying? And probably took a look at it and said, you know what? Out of all the deals, well, out of all the deals I can get, um, this is the best one. I know Miami has one of the biggest NIL deals, and I think they gave him a mill. It's probably the best move. Um, Now I do know he wants to improve his draft stock, and talked about being in Heisman contention in the past. Um, Improve those two things are variable, right? It just depends on how much you're on TV and having those moments. We see it with Jaden Daniels, right? Jaden Daniels wasn't he's the SEC starting quarterback, but he wasn't like a big name quarterback. Had other quarterbacks that came in with bigger names and um, had more Heisman hype. And he just had a couple of moments, some big games to where the tide turned in his favor. Now, does winning the Heisman help your quarterback stock going into the NFL? I'm not sure. Maybe some of you guys know, how well Heisman quarterbacks, um, how their draft stock improved from winning the Heisman. Now, I know, Heisman quarterbacks don't always do well in the league. We can go from like Cam to Tim Tebow to Johnny Manziel, to Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young. So I'm not saying that he's. I think the Heisman thing is just for more publicity. The more publicity you get, now you got more scouts looking at you, and just it generates enough attention for you for your draft stock to go up, right? And for people that hit the transfer portal like he did, because he transferred after Miami got a quarterback that was going to potentially be the starter. Um, they got the guy Poffenberger from Albany. So they had three quarterbacks, with Judd Anderson being the fourth quarterback coming in on the roster. Now you have a fifth quarterback who's coming in expecting to be the starter, right? You brought him in to be the starter. Um, so he comes in day one. You're putting the ball in his hands, which I love. Um, in one sense, you know what? Let me stand where they say stand on business because my player partner Ike Hayes ain't here, and some people may say they're gonna check the receipts on me, and I said we don't need Cam Ward, right? I don't think we should get Cam Ward, and although I'm happy with the move, I still kind of stand on not really wanting Cam Ward because how much does Cam Ward realistically improve this team, right? I was saying before Cam Ward, we're a max 8-win season next year, max. So we're looking at 8-4, and that's realistic. It's realistic, and that's with real expectations, right? You bring back, um, you know, Jacory or Emery or both, which I think they should have done both. Um, you have plenty of weapons on offense. Your defense is, reloaded, and hopefully your coaching philosophy is on one page now. So you go 8 wins, 9 if you being froggy, and you have a good season. It's just like all right, and we can move forward. You bring Cam in. Does Cam win you 2 to 3 more games? So now we're looking at 10 wins. I don't know. I don't know that him alone gets us 2 to 3 more wins. So I'm more in the realm of develop your quarterbacks. You'll have 2 quarterbacks that'll be sophomores next year. You let them play. Let them play. Let them have their growing pains. Let them get their confidence. So going into junior year, they've gotten all the stuff that's out in their head, trying to make the right play every time, getting a grasp of the offense, the play calls, the continuity with the receivers. That's all you can spend all your sophomore year doing that. Junior year, you come in, you're fully confident, you're ready to go. All right. Development. Cam Ward is coming in day one, ready to take over and ready to do his thing. Now I'm not mad at it because talent wise, you're saying you have an upgrade. Um, Cam spent 2 years at Washington, put up big numbers at Washington. Before that, he was at Incarnate Ward. Um, School, most of us probably never heard of. But last year, he threw 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions with 3,700 yards, which is damn good numbers. Um, by like week 4, he was like first or second in the Heisman race. He's putting up big numbers, and then the team as a whole kind of hit a skid, and um, they ended up the season 5-7. So you can't you can't win Heisman's, and you can't get a lot of attention when your team goes 5-7. Right? You got to be winning. So I think that's the important thing here. Now let me get into Cam Ward a little bit, and I know some people may not have seen Cam Ward playing in Washington State. You may not have seen a whole lot of them, but I did watch him. Um, the thing that I love, love, love about Cam Ward, there's a couple of things. The first thing is his pocket presence. He has great natural instinct in the pocket. He doesn't get sacked a lot. He doesn't hold the ball, and if he's holding the ball, he's shifting around in the pocket. Um, he's shifting around in the pocket, so he's not like just backing into sacks. He's shifting around. His feet are, he has quick feet, and he gets out of the pocket. Once the pocket starts to collapse, play starts to break down, he's out of there. Now he's not a pure runner, and I think a lot of people may assume that he's a dual threat quarterback. He's not. Show you the stats here. He's only had like 100 yards rushing. I had to start real quick for a commercial break. But yeah, what I'm saying about Cam is great pocket awareness. You can't teach that pocket awareness. That pocket awareness, it saves you from, sometimes you're in field goal range, you take that sack, put yourself out of field goal range. You're second and goal, you take that sack, you go from being on the 2 yard line to the 10 yard line. Um, So that pocket awareness is great. I think we had the problem in the past with our quarterbacks is holding the ball for too long and then no pocket awareness to get out of the pocket, scramble, make plays. The other thing he does when he makes plays in the pocket, he always keeps his head going downfield. It always looks like he's keeping his eyes on potential receivers. So even if it's to make a dump to the running back for 2 to 3 yard gain, it's not a loss and it's a positive play. And that's just a smart quarterback who has some experience. So he's always looking downfield. He gets out of the pocket. He gets himself out of harm's way, and he's careful with the ball. A lot of times when those quarterbacks are like that, they're just real loose with the football. Get a lot of strip sacks. Just people just waving, swiping at the ball. But you don't see that with him. The other thing that I love about Cam is that he pushes the ball downfield, not just when the receivers are completely wide open, right? You see a lot. You see the difference between quarterbacks in college and in the NFL when they can throw. You see a lot of college quarterbacks put up numbers because the receivers just running wide open every play, right? You see a lot of teams that just the talent disparity is so large. When you have players wide open every play and you can make the throw, is not really telling of the talent of that quarterback. Cam, if you go look at some of the highlights, he's making a lot of throws when his receivers are well covered, not double covered. I mean, when you're in single coverage, but the guy is draped all over his receiver, and he still makes the throw. Two things he do: he has great ball placement, and he gives his receivers an opportunity. Sometimes quarterbacks are scared to make those throws because they're just like, "Oh, they're covered." Cam sees that the receiver is covered and one on one is a matchup that he likes. Not like one on one and there may not be any safety help coming, but when the throw is made, it could be his receiver doesn't have a step. His receiver doesn't have a busted coverage that's trying to catch back up. His receiver just could just be well covered. And he still throws the ball because basically what you say is my guy can beat your guy. And I'm gonna place the ball in such a way that I'm gonna give my guy the best opportunity to make this play, and he does that a lot. Watch some of these highlights. Watch some of these highlights with Cam, and watch some of the ball placement and some of where the receivers are catching the ball with a cornerback draped all over the receiver. He's still pushing the ball, which with our receivers with Jacoby George, with JoJo Trader, Ray Ray, with Isaiah, um, Xavier. These guys may not, I wouldn't say we got guys that are physical specimens that are just going to outmuscle and outspeed, run past everybody. They can make plays, but they're gonna have guys on them, and you got to be able to make the throws where guys are on them, and he does that. He does that well. He does it extremely well. For so far, I think between the pocket presence, having really good feet, and making those type of throws are like his best attributes. Um, he's a good downfield thrower. He makes the intermediate passes. One thing I hope people don't assume about him is that he's a running quarterback. He runs because he has to. He is not a dual threat quarterback. He's not going to be running um 20 times a game. It's not going to happen. That's not what he does. See Michael Penix. This is basically what he is. He's athletic enough to scramble and get out the pocket, but he's not going to be doing a lot of read option and pulling. If he pulls, he's pulling to drop back into a pass. He's not pulling to run. That's not what we're gonna get out of Cam Ward. Um, Now this is what I want to know from you guys more than anything else, and me and Ike Hayes had a long discussion about this. What does this say? What does this do for the program? Right? Is this a win is this a win-win for the program? Is it a win-win even if the program doesn't win? Right? How much expectation do we have on winning now? And why does the you do have to have a quarterback, right, to win in college. College, at any level, but college, I think especially because so much of the talent is spread so far around. You don't have like talent at every position. You look at the NFL, you can win with just having a really great running game and a defense, and a quarterback who doesn't turn the ball over. Because you had just so much talent in every other position. And let's say you just had a monster defense. I mean, we've seen teams win Super Bowls like that, just having great defense, good running game, ball control. I mean, we just seen Michigan, which is an anomaly. This is why, Michigan, broke the mold. They didn't throw the ball all over the place. They ran the ball, had a great defense. But that's Jim Harbaugh's calling card. So if Miami has, let's say, an 8-win, 9-win season. Is that success for you with Cam Ward? Or is that something we could parlay Cam Ward into more talent in the following years? We could parlay, how well he does into notoriety for the university. Um, the thing I just don't think the expectations. We're gonna have to figure out what's the philosophy because he's a thrower. He's not somebody he's gonna be he's if we're gonna keep it real, he's a Shannon Dawson quarterback, right? If you're your air raid offensive coordinator, this the guy you want because he can sling it. If you're trying to be ball control, play action, um, I don't know if this is the guy. I don't know. They have to figure this out. And this is the thing I'm worried about the most. I think with developing quarterbacks, you have an opportunity to figure it out with the quarterback. So the quarterback is adjusting as you're adjusting. You're figuring it out, and you're getting him to figure it out. You're molding what you want. You got a guy to come in. He ready. He played 2 years at Washington. Put up big numbers. He was at Incarnate Word, put up big numbers. So he ready to come in and put up big numbers. He got tools all over the place. This is the ACC, so it's not like he's gonna be going up against just top rated defenses every week. They should have a chance in all the games. You look at the schedule; they should have a chance in all the games. But I really want to know what's your real expectation. Um, like I said, I got to give a shout out to Mario. He came through at first. We didn't know what was going to happen. He was just like, nah. Maybe went and took a look at his draft stock and then went back to the table with his family and said, who got the best deal? Miami. All right. So shout out to Mario for putting all the chips on the table and leaving the door open for him, not closing the door on him, so he can come back. All right, we got him now. We gotta make it do what it do. We gotta make it do what it do. Um, I said this reminds me. This smells of De'Aaron King. This seems just like a De'Aaron King move. De'Aaron King damn near was like the same everything, except for De'Aaron King was a little bit more of a true dual threat, even though he wasn't a runner. A little bit more dual threat. Now De'Aaron King comes to Miami, spotlight, expectations, plays well, doesn't do great, doesn't do bad. He plays well. Miami has a decent season. All right, going to the next year, should be better. Starts off kind of the same. Not great, not bad, decent. He gets hurt. The Tyler Van Dyke comes in, and then we see greatness. All right, so this is what y'all tell me. Cam Ward and then expectation, win wise. If he wins, it's a win-win for everybody, right? Salute to Mario. He got the guy in, number 3 recruiting class. Ain't got nothing to say. All right. But what does that mean? Does that mean ACC title? Does that mean being competitive in the ACC, a chance for the ACC title? Does that mean getting into the playoffs? Or does that mean like being finishing in the top 25 and actually winning a bowl game? Like, what does this mean? Because I need to understand when somebody tell me they're building something. I need to understand benchmarks. You got the quarterback, you got all receivers, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, secondary, recruiting class. All right, what is the benchmark now that you got like a big time quarterback? Is the benchmark 10 wins? Is it 11 wins? Is it ACC title? Is it ACC title game? Is it playoffs? Is it getting to a better bowl, let's say a closer to January 1 or January 1 bowl and winning it? Or let's say you end up playing a big team like, I don't know, let's say like Oklahoma or LSU or Ohio State or like USC in a bowl game and you lose? Is that something that would be like, okay, our expectations have been met. This was a win. Or if you go, let's say you go 8-4, is this like, all right, we got the quarterback and we're still not doing what we're supposed to be doing? I want to say we could run the table without Cam. Look at the schedule. Nobody in the schedule really strikes fear into me, and it's favorable. I think we could run the table without him. So with him, I think we could definitely run the table. I'm talking about undefeated. There's no team that we can't beat. Talent wise, we're better than everybody, including Florida State, including Florida. Talent wise, we're better than everybody. Where we're not better, and this is how we lost games last year, is coaching. It's just we're not better at coaching, and I don't want to get it misconstrued or you know convoluted, as they may say, about Mario the coach and Mario the recruiter. Mario the recruiter is could make a case for being the best in the country. He can make the case for being the best in the country. A 8-5, a 7-6 program, still getting a top 3 recruiting class. He can make the case. A 7-5 program, a 5-7 program the year before, getting a top 10 recruiting class. He can make a case for being. I don't know if college football has Recruiter of the Year award, but he should win it if that was the case. But that's not where that's part of the victory. The other part is just coaching, and him and Shannon Dawson. He has to either let go of Shannon Dawson, or Shannon Dawson has to say, "Look, man, I can't. You're not gonna let me shine. You're not gonna let me use the talent I have." I prefer him to go somewhere else. I don't want Mario to think that he's Jim Harbaugh and Shannon Dawson wants to be Mike Leach, right? Two completely different philosophies, um, and they just clash and it doesn't work. Got to be able to make the decisions on what to do in situations. All right. But, we'll see that as that plays out throughout the year. So, Cam Ward to Miami, I know the city is turned up. He gonna be turned up. But y'all let me know, in the comments what you think about this move, and your expectations. That's kind of what I want to know more. What are your expectations going into the season now? Now that you do have the big time quarterback that we all said we need. I thought we had with TVD, but I digress from that. But now we got the guy we wanted. We wanted Cam Ward. We got him. Now, what's your expectations and what do you expect Miami to do from here, going into next season? So, jump in the comments. Let me know what it is. Make sure you continue to, hit that notification bell anytime the videos drop. You can get them joints while they hot. But till next time, this your player partner from the bottom of the map, and I'm gone.